All right, let's go ahead and check in with Erin Moran now. We are in a first alert weather day, so important stuff to talk about here now.
So I know everyone has noticed just how windy it is outside. Wanted to give you a look at the peak wind gusts. This is not storm related. This is just with that wind advisory. A 48-mile-an-hour wind gust in McKinney so far, 39-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Dallas and Denton, Fort Worth with a 36-mile-an-hour wind gust. And when we take a look at what we've got going on right now, pretty comparable. McKinney, your wind gusts at about 46 miles an hour. So these are that big burst of air. Sustained winds are still at about 25 to nearly 30 miles an hour in some spots. So this wind advisory continues through about 4 a.m. tomorrow, but it is still going to be windy throughout the day on Wednesday. It's just our winds will be shifting as this storm system kind of blows through. So the next few hours, you don't have to worry about much in the way of stormy weather. We've got cloudy skies, it's warm, and it's breezy as well. You notice, though, by the time we get to 10 o'clock, those rain chances start to increase across North Texas, and then the storm chances really start to ramp up. At 11 o'clock, you've got coverage at 40%. I think everyone's going to see rain overnight, rain and storms. Not everyone is going to be dealing with severe weather, but we are expecting strong storms at the very least across all of North Texas. But just as quickly as it moves in, you notice by 6 a.m., coverage is already down to 40%, and I think by daybreak, most of us are done with the wet weather. So let's take a look at your headlines for this first alert weather day. That severe threat in the time frame of 10 o'clock tonight through about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think for the Metroplex, we're looking at midnight to 4 a.m. So this is an overnight event. You got to make sure that you've got a way to get those warnings. CBS DFW app will issue those warnings if need be. The main threat with these storms, it looks like it's going to be damaging winds, 70-mile-per-hour winds expected with some of the strongest storms. And then possibly, this is a little more conditional, large hail and maybe some brief spin-up tornadoes. So let's take a look at this on Futurecast. Nothing going on except a few rain showers, a few raindrops hitting the windshield maybe for that evening commute. Most of the rain that you see on radar is not actually reaching the ground. But here we go. By 9 o'clock, you start to see these storms firing up out to the west. And then as this cold front starts to approach in the overnight hours, you get this line to start to move. Now, notice that it is a pretty well-defined line as it enters the Metroplex, but then it begins to weaken some. So it's right along this leading edge where that main threat for not only those damaging wind gusts, but those brief spin-up tornadoes exist as well. But if this line weakens, then yes, you get some gusty winds and you get some heavy rain, but that overall severe weather threat lessens. Now, the storms behind that initial line still on the stronger side, gusty winds and brief heavy rain, but it does move through quickly. And here we go by 4 o'clock in the morning. You see this is mainly east of Collin County, Dallas County, moving through some of our most eastern counties. And by 6 a.m., we're kind of done with the active weather. Then that cold front swings through into the afternoon. So again, wind damage, the main threat, and then that large hail tornado threat a little more conditional, depending on if it's more of a line or if we get a few discrete cells with this. So we're watching for the 100% coverage in the overnight hours for the first alert weather day, but the rain is done by daybreak, and then we've got temperatures at 70 tomorrow afternoon, guys.
Okay, Erin, thank you very much.